Hello dear students, so let's start the physics paper discussion of NEET UG 2023. So let's start with the first question. The minimum wavelength of the X-ray produced by an electron accelerated through a potential difference of V volt is proportional to. So here we have to talk about the proportionality. So we know that E into V equals to SC by lambda. That means from here I can write lambda equals to SC divided by EV. So that means lambda will be proportional to 1 by V. So for this question we are having 1 by V as the answer, which is the second option. Second question, you can see a Carnot engine has a efficiency 50% when its source is at a temperature of 327 degrees Celsius. Then we have to find out the temperature of the sink. So in this question, first of all we have to convert degree Celsius into Kelvin while using the formula. So efficiency is 1 minus T2 by T1. So here T2 is the temperature of the sink and T1 is the temperature of the source. Here we know that T1 value will be, it will be 327 plus 273 in terms of Kelvin. So that will be equals to 600 Kelvin. So efficiency is 50%, that is 1 by 2 is equals to 1 minus T2 divided by how much? 600. So from here we can write T2 divided by 600 is equals to 1 by 2. So T2 will be equals to 300 and that will be in terms of Kelvin. But options are in terms of degree Celsius. That means we can write T2 as 300 minus 273, that means 27 degree Celsius. So that means for this first option is correct. Now third question, a bullet is fired from a gun at a speed of 280 in the direction 30 above the horizontal. Then we have to find out the maximum height. So that means the particle is projected with 280 meter per second and this angle is 30 degree. So from here if I write down the component, this will be 280 cos 30 degree and this component will be 280 sin 30 degree. That means this will be equals to 140. Now we know that height will be equals to uy square divided by 2g. That is the formula for maximum height. Uy value is given as, here we can put the value 140 square. So that is 140 into 140 divided by 2 into, and in the question it is given that we have to take the g value as 9.8. So from here this will come out to be 70. When we do this calculation, this will come out to be 1.4. So that means the answer will be 1000 meter. So that means third option is correct for this question. Let's move to question number 4. The inductance is given, capacitance is also given. We have to answer the frequency at which the resonance will occur. So here directly we can use the formula. Resonance frequency is equals to 1 by 2 pi under root of LC. That is the formula for the resonance frequency. Let's substitute the value 1 by 2 pi into 1 by under root of LC. So L value is 10 millihenry, that is 10 into 10 to the power minus 3 into 10 to the power minus 6, that is capacitance. So that means from here we are getting 10 to the power minus 8. When we take it out of the root and bring it to numerator, that will be 10 to the power 4 divided by 2 pi. This we can write 10 divided by 2 pi kilohertz. So that value will come out to be 1.57 kilohertz. So fourth one is the correct answer for this. Let's move to the next question. Here's the statement based question. So as first statement, photovoltaic devices can convert optical radiation into energy. So that is a correct statement only. So true. Zener diode is designed to operate under reverse bias in a breakdown region. So that is also theoretical information, true statement only. Both are independent of each other. So that means first option, both statement 1 and statement 2 are correct. Question number 6 we can see here, light travels a distance of x in t1 time and 10x in t2 time in another denser medium, and this is in air. So we have to find out the critical angle. We know that theta c is equals to sine inverse 1 by mu, because mu r by mu d it is, so it is air, so 1 by mu I am writing. So now we can write down x by t1 is the speed in air divided by 10x by t2 is the speed in the denser medium, and we know that v is inversely proportional to refractive index. So that means this we can write it as mu divided by 1. So from here mu value will come out to be T2 divided by 10 T1. So we have to write down 1 by mu, so that means theta c will be equals to sine inverse 1 by mu, that means 10 T1 divided by T2. So let's check the options. So fourth one is the correct for this question. Let's move to the next question. Hydrogen spectrum is there and the shortest wavelength, we have to talk about shortest wavelength, and for Balmer it is lambda. Then the shortest wavelength for bracket. Bracket means the n value will be 4, and for shortest it should start from infinity, right? So I can write down from here 1 by lambda. I can write down in terms of proportionality. So proportional to 1 by n1 square. For Balmer, n1 will be 2 square minus 1 by infinite square. So basically from here I can write here 1 by lambda will be equals to, let's say, some constant divided by 4. Now when we talk about bracket, then we have to talk about minimum. So I can write 1 by lambda dash will be proportional to 1 by 4 square minus 1 by infinity square. That means this will also be 1 by lambda dash will be equals to some constant divided by 16. So let's divide these two equations, first equation and second equation. So if I divide these two equations 1 by 2, from here we can write down lambda dash divided by lambda will be equals to 16 divided by 4. So that means lambda dash will be equals to 4 times of lambda. So let's check the option. Second one is the correct answer for this. Let's move to the next question. If a galvanometer G does not show any deflection, that means in this current has to be 0. Then we have to find out the resistance. If current is 0, that means voltage in this resistance and voltage across this battery has to be equal. That means from here I can write voltage across this will be equals to current in this loop will be, let's say I current is flowing in this and no current will enter in this. So from here I can write current will be equals to 10 divided by 400 plus R, that is the current, into what is the value of resistance here? R. So IR is the voltage drop across this resistance and this will be equals to 2. So from here I can write 5R is equals to 400 plus R, that means R will come out to be 100 ohm. So let's check the options. So for this, third option is the correct answer. Let's move to the question number 9th. The amount of energy required to form soap bubble of radius 2 cm from a soap solution is nearly, soap bubble it is. So that means energy will be T into 8 pi r square, right? So this will be 8 pi r square. So let's substitute the values. T is given as 0.03 into 8 into 3.14, and when you put the value of radius you have to convert the unit. So this will be 2 into 10 to the power minus 2 whole square. Alright. So when you do this calculation you are going to get it as 3.01 into 10 to the power minus 4 joule. So that means third one is the correct answer for this question. Now let's see question number 10. It's a direct formula based question. Magnetic energy stored in inductor is given as we have to find out the magnetic energy stored in the inductor, and inductance is 4 microhenry, right? And the current is 2. So this is a directly formula based question, so we can directly write it as half L I square 1 by 2. L value is 4 into 10 to the power minus 6 into 2 square into 2 square. So that means from here how much we are getting? This will be 8 into 10 to the power minus 6, that means 8 microjoules. So for this the correct answer is fourth option. Let's move to question number 11. 12 volt 6 watt lamp is connected to secondary of a step down transformer whose primary is connected to a AC mains of 220. Assuming the transformer to be ideal, current in the primary winding we have to find out. So it's an ideal transformer, so power in primary must be equal to the power in the secondary. So power in the secondary is given to us, so that means power in the primary will also be equal to 60, and power in the primary will be equal to voltage in primary and current in primary, that will be equal to 60. Now voltage in primary is given to us, it is connected with 220, so that means 220 into current in primary will be equals to 60, and we have to find out current in the primary only. So this will come out to be 60 by 220, that means this will be 3 by 11. So answer will be lesser than 3 only, so this will be 0.27 ampere. Okay. So for this the first one is the correct answer. Question number 12. Electric dipole is placed at an angle of 30 degree with the electric field. So this is, let's say, electric field, and this is the electric dipole, and this is placed at an angle of 30 degree. Torque value is given to us, then we have to find out the magnitude of the charge on the dipole, and dipole length is given as 2 centimeter. So that means from here we know torque is equals to P E sin theta. So let's substitute the values. Torque is 4, P electric field is given to us as 2 into 10 to the power 5 sin theta, that means sin 30 degree. Sin 30 degree is 1 by 2. So from here we are getting P as 4 into 10 to the power minus 5. Now we know that dipole moment is equals to charge into dipole length, and dipole length is given as 2. So that will be Q into 2 centimeter it is. So 2 into 10 to the power 2 meter, that is equals to 4 into 10 to the power minus 5. So that means charge will come out to be 2 millicoulomb. So let's check the option. So that means for question number 2, fourth is the correct answer. Alright. So this is the 2 microcoulomb. Now let's move to the question number 13th. A vehicle travels half distance with a speed v1. So let's say it travels d by 2 distance with a speed v1, and the next remaining distance with the speed 2v. That means here if just simply write it as v1 and then remaining half of the distance with the speed 2v. Alright. So here just simply write it as v only, because that is the information given to us. Now from here we know that average speed is equals to total distance by total time. Now total distance is d and total time. So in this duration, in d by 2 distance with speed v, time will be equals to distance by speed. So that will be d divided by 2v plus d divided by 2, and here speed is 2v. Alright. So from here when you do the calculation, the average speed will come out to be 4v divided by 3. Okay. So let's check the option here. So question number 13, third one is the correct answer. Let's move to the next question, question number 14th. Let a wire be suspended from a ceiling and stretched by weight W. okay, from the free end, longitudinal stress at any point of the cross sectional area of the wire. So it's a direct question, right? A stress will be equals to force per unit area. So weight suspended will be the tension. So that will be equals to W divided by A. So here directly we can mark it as second option. It's a straightforward question, right? Let's move to the next question. E dot ds is equals to 0 over a surface, then the number of field flux lines entering the surface must be equals to the number of flux lines leaving. So that's the first option itself is correct, because here it is saying that flux is 0. That means whatever the field lines is entering, same number of field lines must exit, then only the flux is going to be 0. Alright. So let's move to the next question. The work function of cesium is given to us. Potassium is also given to us, sodium is also given to us. The values are 2.14, 2.3, 2.75. If the incident electromagnetic radiation is 2.20, okay, that means here they are saying which of these photosensitive surfaces may emit photoelectrons. So from here you can see here the work function of potassium and sodium is greater than the incident energy, right? So that means these two can't emit photoelectrons. So the only possible option is first one. Why? Because here the incident energy is greater than the what? Work function. Okay, so incident energy H nu is greater than phi naught. So that is why the first option is correct. Let's see question number 17th here. Temperature of the gas is given to us. Okay, to what temperature the gas should be heated so that the RMS speed is increased by 3 times. If the speed is increased by 3 times, that means final speed will be 4 times, correct? So we know that Vrms is proportional to under root of T, correct? Now the speed is going to increase by 4 times, that means 4 times of Vrms will be proportional to under root of T dash. So let's divide these two. So 1 by 4 is equals to under root of, now T is known to us, it is minus 50 degree, but we have to substitute in terms of Kelvin. So that means this value is minus 50 degree plus 273. So that will come out to be 223 Kelvin. Okay. So that will be the value of T here. So 223 divided by T dash. So from here T dash will come out to be 16 into 223. So this will be in terms of Kelvin, right? So we have to see, we have to check the options. So here final answer will be, this will be in terms of Kelvin. So that means T dash will be equals to, finally we are going to write it, T dash, final temperature will be T dash minus of 273, and this will be equals to in terms of degree Celsius. Okay. So when we do this calculation, second option is going to be the answer. Let's move to the next question. The ratio of the frequency of the fundamental harmonic by open pipe. So open pipe frequency will be V by 2L, and closed pipe frequency will be V by 4L, V by 4L. So that means this will be equals to 4 by 2. So answer is 2:1. So second one is the correct answer for this. So this is directly formula based question. Question number 19, resistance of carbon resistor determined from the colors code is given to us, right? Then the color of the third band. So see here, first two are the multiplier and this first two are the numerical value, and here this value is nothing but the multiplier. So for 10 to the power 3 it is orange, right? So it's a direct question from the color coding, because here they are asking about the third band, and third band is decided by the multiplier. So the answer is the orange one. Let's move to question number 20. For Young's double slit experiment, two statements are given. If the screen is moved away from the plane of the slits, angular separation of the fringes remains constant. So we know that theta equals to lambda by small d. It doesn't depend upon the separation between the screen and the slit. So that means first statement is correct only. So this is true only. If screen is moved away from the plane, angular separation remains constant. So that is correct only. Now next, read the second statement here. If the monochromatic source is replaced by another monochromatic source of larger wavelength, that means we have increased the value of lambda, so that means theta should also increase. But in the statement they have given angular separation of the fringe decreases, so that means this is false. So let's check the statement. Both 1 and 2 are true, wrong. Both 1 and 2 are false, wrong. Statement 1 is true, statement 2 is false. So that means third one is correct for this.
So let's talk about question number 21. The question number 21 says that mass is given, radius is given and length is also given. They are asking the maximum possible percentage error. So it's very clear. We know that density is mass divided by volume. For a wire we can write the volume is m divided by pi r square L. So that is the volume of a cylinder. Now if you want to find the maximum permissible error in this density, so we can say delta rho percentage is equals to power of m is 1, so delta m percentage mod of this plus power of r is 2, so 2 times of delta r percentage, now mod of this plus power of length is L, so delta L percentage mod of this. Now we are going to calculate the percentage error in each of this. So mass is given, so we can say error is 0.002 divided by how much? 0.4 multiplied by 100. So from here you will get the percentage m, delta m percentage, so that will becomes 0.5. Similarly in radius, so delta r percentage is equals to how much? 0.001 divided by 0.3 multiplied with 100. So we are going to get 0.33. Now length, so that is delta L percentage is equals to how much? It is 0.02 divided by 5 into 100. So that is going to be how much? 0.4. Now put those values here. So we can write 0.5 plus 2 times of 0.33 plus 0.4. So from here you will get 0.66%. So 0.66% they have asked the nearly. So answer is 1.6. Option 3. Next question number 22. It is very easy question. Simply capacitors are given and they have asked the equivalent capacitance. So this 3 and 3 are in parallel. So that becomes 6. And now that is in series with 3. So equivalent capacitance is 3 into 6 divided by 3 plus 6. So that is going to give us 2. So the correct answer is 2 microfarad. Now question number 23. The two bodies mass m and 9 are given. They are separated by r distance. We have to find the potential on a line joining them where gravitational field is 0. So we have to find the point where gravitational field is 0. So let's suppose this is m and that is 9m. Separation is r. Now if you're going to solve where field is 0, then we will get a point which is going to be how much? 3r by 4 from here, and this will be how much? 3r by 4 from here. Wow. Is that clear? Why? Because we know that this is m and this is 9m. So if you can see this is 3 times, mass is 9 times, so distance should be how much? 3 times. This is r by 4 I have taken, so this is going to be how much? 3r by 4, because we know that I is equals to how much? Gm divided by how much? R square. So if the mass is in the ratio 1:9, so distance should be in the ratio 1:3. So if you square it, it will becomes 1:9. So we got to know that this is the distance. Now we have to find the potential at that point. So we can say V at this point is going to be how much? Minus Gm divided by R by 4 minus, this will be how much? Minus G into 9m divided by how much? 3r by 4. Now if you're going to solve this, what are you going to get from here? You will get minus 16 Gm divided by how much? R. So it is option 3. Next question. Venturi meter works on the principle. It's very easy question. It is going to work on the principle of Bernoulli principle. Bernoulli's principle, which is P plus rho GH plus 1 by 2 rho V square is equals to constant. So that is one of the easiest question we can say. Next, half-life time of a radioactive substance is 20 minutes. How much time it will take for activity to becomes 1 by 16th of initial value? So you know that activity is directly proportional to active nuclei. So let's suppose initially it is how much? Initial. I initial is proportional to how much? N naught. Now they are going to ask that after what time it becomes how much? 1 by 16. So A at any time that they want, that is to be N naught by 16 basically. So we know that in first half, let's suppose it is N naught. So after first half it becomes N naught by 2. After next half it becomes N naught by 4. After next half it becomes how much? N naught by 8. And then after next half it becomes how much? N naught by 16. So we can see it is 4 half-life. So 4 times of this, it becomes how much? 80 minutes. So for this question, options 4 is correct, 80 minutes. Next question number 26. They are saying the football player is moving in a southward direction. So let's draw the direction first. North, this is north, east, south, and this is what? This is west. They are saying it is moving towards southward direction. So let's suppose initially the person is moving in this direction. After this, it is going to take a turn towards this. So that is V1, and this is going to be how much? V2. They are asking find the force. So first of all, we have to find the change in velocity. So delta V is going to be how much? It will be how much? It will be V2 minus V1. So basically we have to reverse it. So if this is V2, then in this we will add this V1, opposite direction. So we can say this is minus V1. So resultant of this we are going to get in this direction. So that will be in which direction? North in direction. So that is in northeast direction. Now you have to find the average force here. So average force is m into delta V divided by how much? Delta T. So this force will be in the direction of what? Delta V, and delta V we are getting in which direction? Along northeast direction. So the correct answer is 3, along northeast. Now question number 27. The error in the measurement which arises due to unpredictable fluctuation in the temperature. And so whenever we are not certain about the region of the error, then it will be random error. So option 4 is correct. Now next question, the angular acceleration of body moving along the circumference. So whenever any particle is moving along the what? Circular path, so its angular acceleration basically alpha is along the what? Axis of rotation. So correct answer is 4. Now question number 29. In full wave rectifier, the PN junction diode center trap transformer is used, capacitor and load is also used. Which of these component remove the what? AC ripple. So we know that capacitor is going to oppose the AC components. So correct answer will be capacitor. Next question number, the ratio of radius of gyration for the solid sphere of the mass m, and for hollow sphere they are saying of the same mass and radius. So we can say radius of gyration for this will becomes, for K1 will becomes how much? Root of 2 by 5 into R, and this K2 for the other thing is root of 2 by 3 into R. So if you go to solve this, what we'll get? We'll get root of 3 is to root of 5. So no option is given correct, but suppose if you have chosen this, then it will be correct, because probably it will be a misprint. So I will say this question will go bonus. So at least those students who has marked it 1, they can be sure that it will be definitely correct for you. But the correct answer is root 3 is to root 5. So none of the option is matching with this correct option. Now question number 31. They have given magnitude and direction of current in the given circuit. So we know that here there are two sources of EMF. It is this 10 and this is 5. If you go from here, so we are going at higher potential. If you go from here, we are going at what? Lower potential. So both are connected in opposite sense. So net EMF will become how much? 10 minus 5. So that is going to be how much? 5. All right. Now total resistance 2 plus 1 3 and 3 plus 7 10. So current is going to be how much? 5 divided by how much? 10. So that is going to be how much? 0.5 ampere. Now we have to talk about the direction. So this is having the more magnitude, so the current of this will dominate. So current will go from A to B. So current will be 0.5 ampere from where to where? From A to B. So the correct answer is 2 here. Next, an AC source is connected with a capacitor, then due to decrease in its operating frequency. So which of the answers we have to correct? Check. So I, we know that it is V divided by XC, and XC is going to be V divided by 1 by omega C. So I, we can write it is V omega C. Now check the answer. First of all, capacitive reactance they are saying. So capacitive reactance C is going to be how much? 1 by omega C. So if you decrease the frequency, this will increase. So this option becomes wrong. Now displacement current increases if they are saying. So displacement current is proportional to omega. So if you decrease this, then this will also what? Decrease. So the correct answer should be displacement current decrease. So correct answer is 3 here. Now, net magnetic flux through any closed surface. So we know that if there is any closed surface, then net magnetic flux, we know that magnetic field lines always form the closed loops. So if magnetic field lines are going to form a closed loop, so if it is going to enter, it will definitely come out, and again it will enter and it will definitely come out. So net flux, magnetic flux through a closed surface will be 0. So the correct answer is 0. Next, in a plane, electromagnetic wave traveling in free space, fine. Frequency is given, amplitude of electric field is given. They have asked the amplitude of magnetic field. So we know that B is equals to how much? E by C. So E is given 48 divided by 3 into 10 to the power how much? 8. So that becomes how much? 16 into 10 power minus 8. So it can be written as 1.6 into 10 power minus 7. So correct answer is third one. Next, question number 35. Potential energy in a long spring when it's stretched by 2 centimeter. So we know that U is equals to 1 by 2 kx square. They have given U is proportional to 2 ka whole square. So U dash will be proportional to how much? 8 whole square. So if you're going to compare this, you can say U by U dash is going to be 4 by 64. So U dash will be how much? 16U. So correct answer is 4. Next, a bullet from the gun is fired on a rectangular wood. Let's suppose this is the wood. Fine. With a velocity u, it is going to enter with velocity u. Now they are saying it traveled 24 centimeter through the block when its length horizontally, fine, when its velocity becomes u by 3. So they are saying that v square minus u square is going to be how much? 2as. This formula we have to use because we are going to take the constant retardation. Now they are saying when the velocity becomes u by 3 from u, then it has traveled how much distance? 24. So we can say u square minus u square divided by 9, that is proportional to 24. So we can write 8u square by 9 is going to be how much? Is 24. So you can say u square by 9 is proportional to how much? 3. Fine. Now they are asking how much further distance it will travel so that velocity becomes 0. So we know that from velocity u to u by 3, it is going to travel how much distance? 24. Now, from u by 3 to 0, from u by 2 to 0, it is going to travel how much distance? 3 centimeter. Because we have written here that u square, u by 3 whole square minus u square, it is going to be 24. So next option will be 0 whole square minus u by 3 whole square. So that will be, let's suppose, x. So if you calculate, you will get x as 3. But they have asked the total distance. So total distance is 24 and plus 3. So that becomes how much? 27. So the correct answer is first one. Next, satellite is orbiting just above the surface with the time period t. If d is the density of the planet, then g is the universal constant gravitation, then this is represents. So let's talk about the time period. Time period is how much? 2 pi root of r to the power 3 by 2 divided by root of gm. Alright. Now, if you go to square it, what will get? T square is going to be how much? 4 pi square r cube divided by how much? Gm. Now we can simplify this. We can write pi here, and that can be written as G, and that m divided by how much? 4 r cube. Now what we can do, that we can multiply with the 3 here and we can divide with the 3 here. Alright. So this will becomes what? We know that density is going to be how much? M divided by 4 by 3 pi r cube basically. So pi should be here, pi r cube. So this can be written as 3m divided by how much? 4 pi r cube. So now you can see that this term is going to represent the density here. So that becomes 3 pi into how much? G into how much? D. So that is basically equal to the what? T square. So the correct answer is 2 here. Next, the radius of innermost atom is this much. Then what is the radius of the third orbit? So basically we know that R0 is here, we can write 0.53 angstrom, and Rn is proportional to what? N square. So basically we can say Rn is going to be how much? 0.53 into n square. So basically 3 whole square. So if you solve this, 0.53 into 9, so we are going to get this. Option 4, 4.77. Next, question number 39. Impedance of this circuit. Frequency is given. Alright. So let's calculate XL. XL is going to be how much? 2 pi FL. So that is 2 pi into 50. Alright. And multiply with how much? Multiply with 50 divided by how much? Pi into 10 to the power minus 3. So if you go to solve this, what are you going to get? We are going to get 5 ohm. Alright. Now XC. XC is going to be how much? 1 by omega C. So again 1 by 2 pi into 50. And then put the value of this. So that is 10 to the power 3 divided by pi into 10 to the power minus 6. 10 to the power minus 6, if you're going to get 10. It's 10 ohm. So XL minus XC, if you're going to take, then it is going to be how much? 5. And the R is already given. So Z will be equals to root of XL minus XC whole square plus 10 whole square. So that is going to be how much? That is going to be 5 root 5. So the correct option is 3. Now, here we are given with the X versus T curve. Now, if you look at the graph carefully, it is the SHM equation given to us. The amplitude is how much? 1. So we know that when the particle is at extreme point, they have asked what is the acceleration of particle at t is equals to 2. So this particle is at extreme position. So its acceleration, magnitude of acceleration should be how much? A should be equals to how much? A omega s square, that is the maximum acceleration, and since it is at the top, so its acceleration should always be towards the what? Downward, mean position. So put the minus sign. So if you're going to put here, it will get minus 1 into 1 into omega. Omega is what here? It is 2 pi by t. 2 pi by t. So time period is 8. So that is 2 pi divided by how much? 8. So that is going to be how much? Pi by 4, a square of that. So square of that is pi square divided by how much? 16. So the correct option is the fourth, minus pi square by 16. Now question number 41. It is the combination of 3 lengths. Now this and this first length and the third length both are identical. We have to find the effective focal length. So first of all, we are going to solve for this one. So we can write 1 by f1 plus 1 by f2, and I am going to take this as a 1 by f1 only because both are identical. This and this both are identical. So that is going to give us 1 by f effective. Now put the values. We are going to write 1 by f1. So that is 0.6 refractive into this minus 1 into. For this it is going to be how much? Minus. You can also write is 2 by f1 plus 1 by f2. So here we are going to write 2 times of radius of curvature is 20. So minus 20 plus, for this what are you going to write? 1.5 minus 1 into how much? 2 by 20. 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2. So if you solve this, you get this one. Now if you go to solve this, then what are you going to get from here? You will get this as 0. Here you can get 0.6 divided by how much? 1 by minus 10 plus how much you will get from here? 0.5 divided by how much? 1 by 10 here, this plus. If you're going to solve this, what will you get? You'll get 1 by minus of 100. That is going to be how much? 1 by F effective. So focal length is 3 minus 100 centimeter. Now the next question, question number 42. Electric dipole place. So you cannot apply here the formula Kp cos theta by r square. Why? Because you can see here the field distance is very small. That is comparable to the separation between charges. So it will become simple question of potential due to point charge. So here we have to do, because this 5 centimeter and 3 centimeter are very close. So you cannot directly apply the formula for the potential in case of electric dipole when the distance is field point is very far as compared to the what? The separation between charges. So here we have to write KQ divided by how much? The distance, if total distance is 5, so this will become how much? 2 centimeters, or 2 into 10 power minus 2. Plus that becomes K into minus Q, and distance with respect to this is going to be how much? 5 plus 3, 8. So that is going to be how much? 8. What we can do? We can multiply with 4 and we can divide with 4 here, so that both can become what? The base can becomes equal. 10 power minus 2 here because given in centimeter. So that becomes 4 minus 1. So that becomes 3 divided by how much? KQ divided by how much? 8 into 10 power minus 2. So they have asked what is the value of potential given, this will becomes plus 2 here, given in terms of this much. So we have to tell these values 3 by 8 KQ. So correct answer is 3 by 8 KQ. Now we have next question 43. Horizontal brace is built. Horizontal brace is built. Let's suppose a student is there standing on it. A small ball is thrown vertically upward with velocity this. The ball is going to strike the water. Let's suppose this is water. After 4 seconds, then height. So let's suppose this height is how much? H, and we are going to throw the ball with 4 meters per second. We can take upper direction as a negative and downward direction as a positive. So we can write H. The total displacement of particles will be how much? H only. So we can say H is equals to minus 4 into 4 plus 1 by 2 into 10 into 4 into 4. Very simple question. So we can say minus 16, and this will becomes how much? 80 plus 80. So that becomes how much? 64 meter. So the correct answer is 64 meter, option 3. Next, calculate the maximum acceleration of a moving car so that the body lying on the floor car remains stationary. So we know that, let's suppose there is a car which is moving and it is placed on this, then what can be the maximum acceleration A naught so that it do not slip? So we know that the pseudo force is going to be how much? M into A naught, and that should be equal to the what? Friction force, Fx max. So we can say M A naught should be equals to how much? Mu M G. So from here we can say A max can be how much? Mu Z. Mu is given to us how much? 0.5 or 1.5 into 10. So that becomes how much? 1.5 meter per second square. So it is third option. Next question number 45. 10 resistance R are connected in series with a battery of EMF E. Negligible internal resistance find. Those are now connected in parallel with the same battery. The current is increased by n times. So we can write that I will be how much? E divided by how much? 10R first of all. And now I dash will becomes how much? I dash will becomes, that becomes E divided by how much? R by 10 here. So they are asking what is I dash by I. If you go to solve this, what will you get from here? You're going to get 100, and that they are saying what? N. So the correct option is 200. Next question, question number 46. The logic gate is given to us. So if this is A, we can say this is A bar, and that is B, then this is what? B bar. And if you see this is what? NAND gate. So we can say A bar dot B bar whole bar. So that becomes A bar bar plus B bar bar. De Morgan's theorem we have applied here. So that becomes A plus B. So finally it is a OR gate. Which gate? It is OR gate. OR gate. Now we have to check which one is following, which option is given according to OR gate. So here we can say this is not the case, fine. Now here 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 1. So the correct option is 2 here. Now next question, a very long conducting wire is bent into form of semicircular shape from A to E, fine. Now we have to find the magnetic field at point P. Now this is at r distance, so we can take it semi-infinite. Due to semi-infinite, magnitude is how much? Mu naught I divided by how much? 4 pi r. Now because of this one, it will be the cross thing, and because of this also it is cross, so we can multiply with what? 2 here. Now due to semicircular path, it will be what? Coming outside. So but it is semicircular, so for semicircular it is going to be how much? Plus mu naught I divided by how much? 4r, but it is dot. So if you're going to calculate, then what you're going to get from here? It is going to be how much? Mu naught I divided by 4r, you can take common, and this is going to be how much? 1 minus 2 by pi. 2 by pi. Why? Because this is going to be 2 by pi is less than 1, and overall it will be what? Dot. So if you're going to see this, it will be mu naught I by 4r and coming out of the plane. So correct option is 3 here. Now question number 48. Resistance of platinum wire is given this much at 0 degree Celsius, and this is this value at this much degree Celsius. We have to find the temperature coefficient. So we can say R is equals to R naught 1 plus alpha delta T. So that is given 6.8 is equals to 2 into 1 plus change is 80. So 80 alpha we can write here. So that becomes how much? That becomes 6.2 divided by 2 minus 1 is going to be how much? 80 alpha. Fine. So that becomes how much? 4.8 divided by how much? That is going to be 160 into how much? Alpha. That is going to be how much? Alpha. So alpha will be how much? It is going to be how much? We can write 48 divided by how much? 16 into 10 to the power minus 2. Alright. Alright. So that is going to be how much? It is 3 into 10 to the power minus 2. So according to this, the correct option will be the 3, 48. 48 option is 3. Now question number 49. The wire carrying current I along the positive x-axis of length L kept in this, the magnitude of magnetic force. So F is going to be how much? It is going to be how much? I L cross B. Alright. So I L cross B. L is how much? We can say L I cap, and we have to take the cross product with whom? 2i plus 3j minus 4k cap. If you're going to take the cross product, what you get from here? You can get IL, and then here this will become 0, and I cross j is k. So 3k cap. Now k cross I is j, and that becomes how much? I cross k is minus j, and minus minus plus. So plus 4j. If you're going to take the mod of this, what are you going to get? You're going to get root of 3 square plus 4 square, so that becomes 5IL. So the correct option is 5IL. Now we have two thin lenses connected having the focal length f. One is concave, another is convex. So basically they are saying this is having f, and we have to connect with the another concave lens of focal length. So that becomes how much? Minus f. They are finding, they are saying that what is the equivalent focal length. So 1 by f effective is going to be how much? 1 by f plus 1 by minus f, which is going to be 0. So this is 0, so we can say 1 f effective is going to be how much? 1 divided by 0, so that is going to be how much? Infinite. So correct answer is 4. So that is all discussion about this physics paper. Thank you.